Alright, everybody. If you're in the Discord chat, you're going to want to mute Twitch. If you are not in Discord and are just tuning in, be sure to go to that URL right there on the screen. That is going to be where we're going to hold some polls, and hopefully you will be able to answer some things. You'll be able to see some live polling numbers changing on the fly. Be a lot of fun. So first off, I'm going to do a little housekeeping here. Let's do our best to keep this friendly and respectful and calm, and don't do any trolling, don't do any infighting. We're all from different houses. We all go to war against each other. But that doesn't mean that we don't have respect for one another. So please keep it cool, and we're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I am your host tonight, Foglata, of the most peaceful house in the server, Goshkia. We don't hurt nobody. We just sit there and build stuff. We play with their Legos in the corner. Stay quiet. Tonight we also have Lord Winter representing Atlas. Lord, would you like to give a little introduction? Maybe not. I don't know. Hold on a second. Alright, I think I might have broken it when I muted myself and then unmuted myself, but... Alright, Lord Winter, I will unfreeze you here in a moment. You should be able to speak. You had a server mute somehow. There you go, go ahead. Weird. Alright, well, let's go ahead and go to cohorts real quick, and I'll see if I can... Oh, there you go. You got it off.
Can you hear me now?
Yep, loud and
Sorry
clear.
about that. All right, thanks for having me. Yeah, I just represent Atlas. We're part of YT. It's great to be here. It's a great season. I really enjoyed the fights this season. Yeah, I hope we can continue the competitiveness onto next season.
Awesome. Alright, next up, let's go ahead and go through the YTs really quick. We have Radiance in the house. FLGH Hawkeye, go ahead and give a little spiel.
Hey everybody, yeah, I'm Hawkeye. I run Radiance, which is in Yellow Turbans. So we're with Atlas. Our Dio friends are not here tonight. I believe Dresden is working late, but I'm sure he'll be around if he can. But yeah, it's good to be here. It's kind of nice. I think I've met a lot of the Lieges in here, but not everybody. So it's kind of cool to connect with everybody.
Alright, let's jump over to Devastators. Are you able to speak? I hope.
I am, yes.
Go for it. Go ahead and tell us about your house.
Just a new house, trying to get some recruits and get going.
Awesome. We also have House of Lords here. Hopefully House of Lords can speak. Lord Sir may or may not be here. We'll come back around. Zook. Oh, Lord Sword's here. Go ahead, Lord.
New house, just building up ranks and just helping the new players learn the game, not the old school players, but bringing on the noobs, so to speak, to make sure that they enjoy the game, not get trampled by all the cav.
That is a very good thing to have here. I know that one speaking from experience. So thank you for your service on that. Zoog with Knights Templar. Go ahead.
Going on. You know, we're recently new house too, but we're making our ways the best we can here.
Yep, just the holder of Regionopolis, right? And we have Midway Kings in the house. Midway, go ahead. Okay, maybe Midway isn't here yet. No Evil is here. Go ahead, No Evil.
Hey, what's going on, guys? I'm Molten or Kata, depending on which character I'm on. But yeah, I run No Evil, mostly casual house, slowly building since for way too long now. Season 3, I guess.
Awesome. Welcome to the party. We have Shaolin. Go ahead. 9 bigs.
I'm new to the game pretty much. I've been here through the end of this season, past few weeks. Just Us Alliance is brand new. We've seen Nightmare the past few weeks. We've been brand new the past few weeks, trying to grow. We're picking up the newer and returning players to the game that are very interested in the new season. Just trying to grow, try and put something together that's a little competitive to YT in the future, but maybe not just right now.
Yeah, those are big shoes to grow into. We're still growing into those. But yeah, welcome to the server. We are definitely going to have room for you in this household. So the Templars, you are aligned with the good knights. Tell us about yourself.
Zug took us in into the Alliance of Valor, and we just started. The house itself started about a month ago. I recently took over as liege, and we're doing our best to grow, taking in veterans that can help us and the newer players uh, fill the shoes that Shaolin's also trying to fill, and becoming a bigger battlefield for YT. But at the same time, trying to foster a community that just wants to grow, develop, and have sportsmanship and say GG after a battle.
Awesome. And then we have Rangian Guard. Go ahead and do an intro.
Yeah, I'm the leader of Varangian Guard, the only Merc house on the NA West server. We're a pretty new house, season 6, but we're growing pretty fast. We're allied with Odin and Galaxy.
All right, guys. So we are going to blow through some questions here pretty quickly, and I'm going to let you guys. Oh, let's go ahead and do the cohorts. Cohorts are here too. I'm sorry, cohorts.
Dang, man. No, I'm so good. I am Alro.
The cohorts are real. Go ahead, try it
Yep.
again. Oh, my cat says hi, by the way.
Hold on, I keep typing in the wrong thing. So yeah, I'm Alros. I'm the military commander for the cohorts. I am not a liege in the same sense as a house. We don't really have the same mechanics as houses. We have actually a huge number of limitations. One of the only main features of us cohorts is our ability to rapid respond, which is teleporting and all that good stuff, as most people refer to it as. But yeah, I've been a cohort since season 2. I've never joined a house. And just been playing the game for fun, casual play since season 4 now. I'm basically semi-retired from the game. But I mean, I'm still just here to help new players facilitate through territory wars and hopefully retain a player base as much as possible, and for vets and newbies alike. And yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and jump into some questions now that we got everyone. I just boosted everyone as much as I could on my end, so hopefully that works. So first question we're going to pop on the board for you guys is, what was your favorite feature introduced with Season 6?
Definitely the snow. I was worried
we
I moved
burn
too
him?
fast.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure some people are getting their pitchforks out right now.
Yeah, chuck him on a stake real quick. Jesus.
Honestly, for me, it was the free attribute point resets every week.
Was one piece I didn't add to my little poll.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the best features I can agree with from this season. It really helped a lot of people be able to test out new builds, different things, without having to like spend hours trying to get the pages or whatever the hell to reset themselves.
True.
I enjoyed the reduced difficulty on the season 2 challenges for the units. It was pretty nice to be able to get them.
Yep, that was definitely handy. I got my Keshiks finally, thanks to that.
Being able to queue rebel camps was nice. They've always been the most obnoxious part of getting your weeklies done and not having to go out into the open world for them, especially with how slow we were moving.
I
Yeah,
It was really
really,
nice. I hope they continue a version of that next season.
I hope that they give us some Rebel kits with it, though. Like the the various kits that you get from doing Rebel camps, you don't get anything from those cute.
Yeah, it'd be nice if we queued into normal ones.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll be nice to us and do that.
And the rewards for
If they
sure.
get a new map, hopefully.
Yep, we can hope. So it looks like so far the Clear Ruins were the fan favorite. If you want to cast your vote, etc.ch/capital N X K, or capital X and then lowercase k. So nobody liked the map UI, huh? Not a fan favorite?
Crap.
Yeah, it was a little cumbersome. In fact, there's a setting in your settings that you can set that will let you go back to the hover mode of the fiefs so that you can see it the old school way where you hover it and you can see who's all in there.
Thank you.
Yeah, so look in
Good
your
note.
settings. This was like something that we figured out like week 3 and we're like, "Oh, thank God it's still there. You just got to turn it
Oh,
on."
Jesus.
But oh, it was painful until then.
Is that the map thief details button?
Yep. That gives you your
It
old
was
hover mode.
well-intentioned changes, but implemented poorly.
Right. We had 7.7 people like that boss fight. I'll be honest, I never did it.
It's not bad, I
No?
guess. It's pretty fun. It's something they can
How
It's
work
an easy
on.
way to
new.
grind
It was
those
it was
sovereign
challenging
or
at
the
first,
lions.
which
Yeah,
was
it was
nice.
fun before they nerfed it to make it easy. That was the big.
Yeah.
Like the first day, I jumped in with a couple other like level 2000 plus players, and it took us 3 or 4 attempts to figure out the right mix of armor and weapons and strategy to beat it. And I thought that was really fun. Like it was legitimately challenging. We had to try a few times and try different setups. After they nerfed it, it was gotta go in and get your
Easy peasy.
rewards easy.
Yeah.
So, being Expeditions has now taken the lead. What is your guys' favorite new expedition?
I like the return of that Sea Raider map. I forget what it's called now, but it used to be called something Sea Raiders.
Yeah, that's
You
still one of my
start on the
Every
favorites.
boat.
six waves or something. I think it's 6.
And then really like that hillside charge where you got to run up the hill, go fight the guys on the bridge at the very end. That's a real fun one.
That one was interesting. Very quick, easy to do.
Especially with Gold Cav.
All right, let's go on to the next question. What is your least favorite new feature of Season 6?
Easily the
How much
snow.
time do you got?
Yeah, I'm wondering. I can't wait to see the numbers on
Oh
this
man,
thing.
100% so
100%
far.
the
Snow. Sorry, Hawkeye.
Should be able to
No,
pick 3.
The snow was awful, and then another double Cav season kind of sucked. Cav was already very, very powerful in the meta, so a third Cav-based season in 5 seasons was kind of
They
annoying.
could have at
and
least reduced the honor cost. It's
That's how
insane
you
trying
balance
to
everything.
grind.
Just make it cost 30 less.
I have to agree with the tavern. I love the tavern idea, but I really wish the tavern was available more places than just one city in the whole world.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Snow was probably my least favorite feature, and even being a cohort when like teleporting around during territory wars, like I don't have to deal with what everyone else is dealing with walking around, but oh my goodness, it seems like it's just such a pain in the butt to do any open world stuff. I mean, yeah,
It-
there's the ales, but like it's just like the ales are just so it's just an extra unnecessary. It's just so annoying.
Yeah, and I
Bronze
mean,
for
if you fought a
ale.
90-minute territory war,
10,000
that's
bronze
9
for
of
4.
them every TW.
Yeah.
If they were like 30 minutes each, it wouldn't be too bad, I guess.
Yeah, the other thing is
But
it just
hopefully we
forced
don't see that
more
next
people to
season.
Cav spam because it was so hard to get around quickly.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to cover distance, bringing artillery and infantry was almost unusable this season.
I will say, as someone who just started this season and having no experience without the snow, it made me in the beginning not want to leave Turovaros as much. I didn't want to go to any other territories or do any thief quests because I was tired of just being bogged down.
I've had that with a lot of new players. They come in and they're like, territory wars comes up and trying to explain to them, what to do, how are we preparing and when to leave, and they're just like, how do I leave? Where do I go?
The open world map can be intimidating. I didn't actually leave Liang Yun in the southeast until Radiance joined Yellow Turbans. The whole first almost 2 seasons, I'd never left Liang Yun. Never even. I guess I probably went into Maoyang once or twice, but I mean that's probably the first 6 months I played the game. I didn't leave the region I started in back when we had all 4.
All right, and Map UI did make an appearance there. I'm happy now because that Map UI, ouch. I think they had some good ideas. They just didn't execute right.
It's like the buildable fief system or the new field battle system. It's a good idea until you put it out in the wild and realize it's not.
Yep. All right, so now we're going to get to some fun stuff. This one I don't have a voting thing for, but it is the elephant in the room. I'm going to ask these house leaders, why did they choose to stay west when so many others went east?
Oh man, can I start this one? Can I
Go
start
for
this
it.
one out?
Go for it.
All right, I just want to say, being here for like 3 weeks, listening to everybody talk about this transfer and how everybody was complaining about YT, it really clicked with me that like, why? I've seen Ming in the past when I first played the game. I've seen HK around, and it just made me wonder like, why? YT is not as bad as people make them out to be. Yes, they own the map, but who cares at the end of the day? We don't have bigger houses that are willing to compete with that kind of activity. So at the end of the day, I don't know. Me being NA East, I'm still staying NA West for the fact of fun competition, not total domination with proxies, you know?
Awesome.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, I can
that's
speak for, the largest alliance that stayed. When the conversation, the topic of transferring first came up, the leashes of every major house got together and agreed not to transfer. We agreed to stay on West. It was easier. We kept our players together. At that point, there were only 3 transfers announced. And I was all about that. YT had a rough season last season. And so we had a lot of guys who just wanted to be a bit more chill this season, wanted to just have some fun. So we were already not planning to be hyper competitive this season. Um, and then magically, over the course of, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks, a couple of people who really had motives for going east started to get in the ears of everybody. And next thing we know, we're being told, yeah, everybody's transferring east and you have to transfer east in a week. And so YT leadership got together and said, no, we're lazy. It's a pain in the butt to transfer. We have to move our houses. We have to worry about losing people. YT's always been a group of people who like playing together first and foremost, and we hope because we like playing together, we can turn that into being good. But that meant we didn't want to lose people who got left behind on accident. Turns out they were going to give us a billion chances to transfer, so that probably wouldn't have happened. But yeah, for us, it came down to we don't. It's a lot of work to transfer. We're not going to do extra work just to go to another server where a lot of people over there don't like us. The people who originally transferred don't want us there. They were doing well without some of the bigger alliances over there. So I don't know. Didn't seem worth bending over backwards and putting in all that time and energy just to go to another server. We were perfectly happy here. And we made it clear from the first meeting that like YT will not move. It's not an option we're even discussing.
Yeah, Goshki was pretty much right there with you. We decided early on we're not moving, mainly because first we had a purple name and they said purple names wouldn't transfer over, and then they said that they would. But at that point, I didn't really trust it. I'll be honest. After being here since season one, I've learned not to trust the first wave, so I waited to see what happened, and then I'm like, you know what? No. And then all the people that were always, we're the butt of everyone's joke. We know it. So many people love to pick on us. It's part of the meme. So it's like, do we really want to go into that environment? And then where are all the new players going? And once everyone transferred over there, then all of a sudden West is the new populace, and that's where all the new players are going. So it's like, we've always been about the new players. We've always been about teaching people the game and then push them out into the world. All the new players are over in the West, so we got to stay West. So it never was really an option for us. We had to stay there if we wanted to keep teaching people.
Yeah, originally my little group of people were gonna go east, but then we joined up with Endless because they wanted us to stay west. So we were all gonna stay west, and they tried to sway everybody to go east. and we dipped and joined up with Knights Templar, and here we are now.
Paid off in the end. I mean, I honestly don't have any regrets. I'm really enjoying where we're at as a server community and where we're going as a server community. The people that are here, I think, are top notch. I mean, they are good players. They have good attitudes. They can have a conversation like we're having right now without lashing out at each other. I mean, this live stream is proof that that is how this is. I mean, we've got people who are arch enemies in the same room together, and they are not lashing out at each other. This is the kind of environment that we can build a community in. So that's why we've stayed, and we believe in it, and we're going to see it through to the end.
And a lot of houses were hamstrung by the transfer. A lot of them ended up having to merge because they got either only part of their player base over, or people showed up kind of in, with errors and bugs. It took them 3 transfers to get their whole house over. A lot of those groups kind of had to, they always joke merge or die. A lot of them had to do it because if you only got 20 people over there and the groups that were already over there were fielding 300, you can't stack up to that. There's no even starting to compete, and tons of recruiting pressure over there. There weren't new players to pick up to refill the loss of 60 or 80 players.
I'll be honest with you. I've been in the MMO scene for 19 years, and every time I saw a server transfer, there was one point that was always valid, and that's like 40% of your population when you transfer won't go with you. They'll say that they'll go with you, but they won't go with you. And we've seen that very much so with this transfer because we've gotten so many players joining us now that were from other houses that transferred east. And they're like, oh, yeah, my house failed. We're looking for a new house. It is very much the truth. We saw it in Warhammer Online, we saw it on Rift, we saw it on Guild Wars 2, ESO. I mean, all of these places, whenever you do some kind of transfer, bad things happen. And you're only going to take about 60% with you.
Yeah, as someone who's in a weirdly unique position from at least how the cohorts are, at least how our Discord is organized, we are on both servers because we facilitate the cohorts on East server and here on West server. And as someone who's been here since season 2, at least, I did play a little bit in the preseason era, but as a cohort, and I've been fighting every single house I've ever I've seen so many houses, so many players. Despite a lot of the, I want to say, people trying to downplay the West server, we are still getting like a steady increase of population. Like cohorts, we're always like we have at least 600 member slots. So by Saturday or by Friday at least minimum, we're full. We're always almost full like by Friday on West server. So we're always getting new players joining the game. It's just a matter of getting them out there to enjoy and stay in the content of it.
All right, so talking about this new Western server, we had a whole bunch of new houses spawn up this season. Our next poll is going to be which of these new houses was most surprising to you? Which one astonished you when they took the battlefield? Go ahead and cast those votes.
It's fucked up. We're not even up there.
What?
I mean, I don't think it counts if you're this late, but I'm not up there either.
Yeah,
Yeah, since it
Devastator,
is Old
sorry,
Weekly.
you didn't get on the board from owning territory yet. So next season
Oh,
you'll be up
okay.
there.
Next season.
Yeah, so all the houses that took territory should be up there.
I will say, and we did just have a practice scrimmage tonight with them tonight. Atlas, definitely, it's been good to see your guys' house come up and be where it's at. So it was a lot of fun tonight. We had a practice scrimmage tonight at Ratarvar as well as Hadarvaros. Both sides got to switch off on the attack and defense throughout the night. Yeah, it was good. It was good to see like where your house has come so far. So that's one of the top. And then the other one I picked down myself was a Resurrection, even though they went east. But they seem to be doing pretty well overall for the most part for themselves. And although they had some really odd siege tactics that didn't really work out for them in a lot of times when they were attacking, they definitely had some spirit. So.
Can you guys hear me now, by any chance?
Yeah, we sure can.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was trying to talk. I didn't know if you guys could hear me. I was trying to introduce myself, but I think that's all over with now.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Why not?
Anyway, I'm LKN from Midway Kings. I'm new to the season, just started this season. I'm looking forward to the next season, seeing what it brings. I just want to say that there was a lot of good things that I learned from a lot of people inside this room, which is a good thing. And we're looking forward to progressing and having our house grow. And yeah, we're really looking forward to it. Like you guys were talking a lot about the other seasons. Yeah, we're not too familiar with that, but we're here and hopefully we're here to stay for a while. So hopefully we grow and be able to give you guys some challenge.
Yeah, we're glad to have you here. I just wanted to uh, go back to Rose. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, we had some good fights today, and I really appreciate you coming out and saying that. I do think we did pretty well this season, and I appreciate YT for helping us a lot with that. It's a good alliance. They taught us a lot, and I appreciate it.
Yeah, YT is not bad. I don't have nothing against YT. Like when I talk to them silly, like I tell them all the time, they're good. Just, I mean, I'm not gonna say nothing bad. I mean, maybe little toxic, maybe, but not real bad. But besides that, but no, they're good people. Like I said, I could talk to Hawkeye, I could talk to Modix, like, and they're not really all that bad. You know what I mean? Like they kind of have some compassion. They do want to play the game. It's just yeah, they are very powerful. And like I told them before, as soon as I get there, I do want to come see them and hopefully win one day against Modix and Hawkeye. But I still love y'all, brothers. You know what I'm saying? All out of fun.
All right. So next up, guys, let's talk about alliances. What is the most formidable alliance that you face this season? And you can. Oh, you know what? I didn't have it on multiple choice. Oops.
If you guys don't mind me starting out, like it's been a weird season, um, given how we had the multiple migrations. So I would say at the start of the season was for cohorts at least. Our number one biggest, most formidable opponent was fighting Heavenly Kingdom. So that was that was initially our biggest one, and mid-season it was still pretty much them for the most part. But otherwise, at the end of the season, for the latter half or afterwards of mid-season, it's been the Yellow Turbans have been our number one biggest fights that we've had. Like it's been great. So
KT started off fighting against Yellow Turbans, but we ended up fighting against No Evil, and them guys put up some good fights down there.
Yeah, no, at this point, with everyone left, it's pretty much Val. I don't think we end up scrapping with YT at all.
Nah, we never. Y'all too far south. It's a long run. There's
Yes, bro,
snow.
I wasn't messing with that snow, man.
But it's so
I don't
beautiful
blame you.
down south.
We went north, south, north, south.
We went south once, realized how long it took to get there, and then left after that war.
No, but definitely, I mean, shout out to Niflheim, I guess, because they definitely kept us busy down there, which was nice.
Provided my guys with a lot of much needed city experience too. No evil.
I mean, yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to YT and to the cohorts really because they were by far the ones that were whooping our rear ends the most. Oh man, but yeah, shout out to you guys. We really didn't have no problems with nobody else. You know what I'm saying? Like, I guess I got off on
Beg
the
your
wrong.
pardon?
All right, Vanguard Guard. We're gonna save this for a whole nother day, but you're good, Cossack. You're all right, man. At the end of
You
the
too,
day,
buddy.
it's still just a game, and we're all here to have fun, and you know, that's it.
Love you too, big boy.
All right, but you know what I would like to see more of though, like how you guys were talking about little houses merging and stuff. I would like to see that though. I would like to see some little houses grow, have more content, maybe more people trying to get the capital instead of just a couple of groups. You know what I mean? Only fighting for it. It would be more fun to have more challenges and stuff. Cause like YT, yeah, they're kind of strategic. They use their terrified calves mostly a lot, and they do handle their business. But what if the way I look at it, people out there that might have that chance, and, and I think us being lieges and like bigger houses and stuff like that, I think we should come together one day and start giving some of these little houses a chance to actually at least grow a little bit to compete with some of themselves until they can compete with some of us. Actually,
All right,
that
so
would be something
I'll
that's kind
comment
of
on
nice.
that one. Uh, Big thing this season, we all got to keep in the forefront of our mind is that we literally spent most of this season watching our friends set sail off to a whole nother land and having these
Yeah,
voids one time after another, just bang, 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 like every other week. We were watching another giant void be created and people flooding to fill that. But what happened was the East server used to be the destination server for all the new players. So when you download this game, it defaults you to East. Well, when all those houses went to the East, it flipped the low pop to us, which then put us as a new destination server, which means that there's going to be a lot of new players flooding in. Goshki has seen this. Like every week, we are literally kicking out, 6, 7 people that have not played this week to let 6, 7 new people in. And we have a huge waiting list. It's like non-stop new players coming in. Now, Yellow Turbans can only fit 300 in there. Their entire alliance can only have 300. That leaves all those other people to everybody else. We all have that opportunity. This next season, you're going to see houses start growing. Little houses like Shaolin, they're going to be popping up. They're going to be hitting that 100 mark. You're going to see, Midway Kings hitting that 100 mark, both of their houses. Nightmare's going to be popping up. House of Lords probably will be up there. All these houses are going to be getting full, and there's going to be a whole bunch of new houses too, just like we saw with this season. So don't
yeah,
worry about it. These fights are going to come. We just got to give them time and let these people grow, get them enough confidence to get them off the ground and get moving forward. And then boom, next thing we know, we have a giant war going.
yes, sir. I
Well, and
fun.
and the houses merging and like getting into the being a big alliance with a lot of that takes a lot of time. Like Radiance and Do are both houses from the first day the game came out
Right.
that have been running, with different people, but we've been around that whole time. I mean, Radiance for the first 6 months the game was out, we were in a big alliance that fell apart. We got down as low as 16 active players as a solo house until we joined YT. We were really small at one point. It's a process, but I mean, there will be a lot of fighting and smaller groups merging. This game's mechanics just don't support small groups. So you'll find
Right.
a lot of groups of 5, 10 friends who got the game together, but after a war or two, they realize you can't really do anything with 5 or 10 people. And they'll look for groups to merge with, groups to work with. There's just no, again, it's just the way this game works. It's not built
Yeah.
for houses fielding 10 people.
Right. You're right. Oh man.
Yeah, I definitely can attest to the number of small groups of likely friends making a little house or whatever, and then trying to go out there in the world, and then suddenly getting slammed by like 20 plus cohorts at a fief because they were like, "Hey, let's go fight in territory war," and it's like, what is going on?
Yeah, or they run into us on a rotate, and we've got, 10, 15 guys there with level, that are level 2000 with maxed out golden cav and maxed out high level infantry. And yeah, I mean, it's again, this game, as unfortunate as it is, because I know people like to make small houses with groups of friends, this game just doesn't support that. You can be a group inside another house, but you just need a lot of people to be successful in Conqueror's Blade. I mean, even when we were, when everybody kind of ganged up on us for one territory war, even with all the people we fielded, we just couldn't get everywhere. You just need people at certain points.
All right, so what would your recommendation be to the new guy just starting his own house, trying to get his house off the ground? Do we have any recommendations for what they should be doing?
I mean, I could probably, speak on it. I mean, roughly. I mean, you guys seen that that we went from being a 4-man house to at one point being under Nicoria, under Emperor, and then he removed us and took Resurrection, but we went from a 4-man house to having 2 houses ourselves. And what I did, even as a liege, as my own on my own spare time, me personally, I grinded so hard. I mean, there was times where I was up 24 hours, 30 hours of grinding and doing nothing but recruiting and recruiting. And I would grab people that were gray at 12 and I would sit there and train them. And most of my house now, they're all blue, about to be purples, some purples about to be golds. Like I just stayed focused. Like I told myself, you know what? I'm not going into another alliance. I'm not gonna get kicked out anymore. So I just strived and I fed off it and I fed off it and I just kept on recruiting and I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was the name or if it was how I was recruiting by what I was saying, like how I would come at them real politely, however I did it. But my house did grow real fast in season 6. Like number wise, we grew pretty good. Like really, really did. But it's a grind. And me being a small house, I did that all on my own. Like I sat 3 weeks without even playing the game and just committed to straight recruiting. Everybody I ran up to, if they weren't a level 12 and they were like 7, all right, jump in my squad. I get you to a 12. Bam. And I would just keep recruiting and I would just keep going and going and majority of my house stuck with me. Like I always treat them nice. I'm always kind to them. I'm always, lifting up their morale. um like when I first started, I didn't know nothing about the game, so I wasted all my season schematics and stuff like that. So with me knowing all that now, I stopped them from making the same mistakes I did, and it's like I said, I just grind, and I became to grow as the house.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing I can say is somebody who's, when I took over Radiance, there were 16 of us left. We rebuilt that, up to what we are now and joining YT and getting to work with some people we really love to play the game with. The best thing I can say when starting a new house is if you're not a very experienced player, it's going to be hard. I always recommend being in a house before going off to start one. Some of the guys who are starting houses this season are former players of mine who are starting up their own houses. Several YT players have left and started their own groups. Even some that have gotten pretty big. What is now Citadel Security was an original spin-off of Radiance back when it was Goryo. But I think learning from a house that is well structured and well run can help a lot. And then also learning how they develop players. If you're the biggest house on the server, you can be picky about who you let in. You can set ridiculous requirements. You can say, I only want level 500 plus players with all Goldens. You will be way better served by recruiting people you like playing with and teaching them how to play. Radiance and Dio and Atlas, we bring in people we have fun playing the game with. I don't care what level they are. If they're good people, we can teach them to play. And that's helped us with longevity because it means we have people who don't mind spending time together, don't mind learning and putting in all the work it takes to get coordinated to a level it takes to win this. You can be the best solo duelist on the server, and it just doesn't matter in territory war. I'm not a particularly good duelist or a particularly good one-on-one fighter, but I don't need to be. I've got 299 people to back me up who, trust me and are willing to listen to me and are incredibly coordinated because of more than a year of working together now.
Yeah, 100%. It's also about how you treat them too. You know what I mean? Like it. Yeah, I agree 100% with you.
I think the big thing for all new house leaders to realize is that it's going to be a long, hard road, and you're going to have a lot of churn. There's going to be a lot of people that like this game up through the first 50 levels, and then they're going to disappear. That's normal. Don't take it to heart. Don't get down on yourself about it. It is normal. As soon as they get out of the little baby leagues where they're fighting AI guys with really cool names that you think are real, once they get into the big leagues and they start fighting the yellows and the purples, it's a whole different ball game. And a lot of people get discouraged out the gate. That's not on you. That's just on the way that the game's built. Just stick with it. Keep on pushing through. Keep on bringing people up, and like 1 out of every 5 people that you bring on is going to stick around and just keep building up. It's going to take time. It took us like 6 seasons to get to where we're at. So,
That's one of the
just stick with
things
it.
I would have to say about these kinds of games. I've run so many guilds and game content on so many apps, on so many different little browser games, World of Warcraft itself, League of Legends teams, all those types of things. And you have so many people come and go that just don't understand that content doesn't change when you want it to change. It changes when you're ready to actually make a change in the game and play it for the fun of it instead of just playing for what you're enjoying at first. Just doing sieges isn't fun, and that's what I try to teach the new guys that come in. Like, yeah, it's great, it levels you up, it gives you a base idea of the game, but the fun comes in the end game content when you're actually battling for ownership.
I also think that now this one might be a little bit more unique to the West server community itself, but there were a lot of times where me, especially when I took over leadership of the Templars, had a lot of questions, and I was able to reach out to Kua or Zug or someone who has had a lot more experience and ask them, be like, hey, like I'm having these issues as someone with, all kinds of experience in this game that's got definitely more experience than I do. How would you go about handling it? And then matching up what I was thinking about handling with how they said, or taking their advice to heart if it was completely different than what I was thinking. Like, and like I said, that might just be something for our server because we're so small and able to do something like this. But I think as a new house leader, it could also be important to reach out to those other house leaders who are a lot more experienced because they love spouting knowledge from what I've gathered.
Yeah, well, and this game has absolutely garbage learning tools and tutorials. One of the reasons why the website that Fog runs is so cool, and it's one of the reasons we made the guide we did, How to CB for Tyrants, and the reason we put so much time and work into that is it is hard to teach players this game. It is very, very hard because the game doesn't help you. But most people who played this game a long time are more than happy to spend time telling you what they think. Almost any one of us will go on for 30 minutes about our opinions at the drop of a hat. So, utilize that. Even if you're not in a house full of veterans, house leaders, feel free to ask other house leaders for help. Most of us were in the same place you were when I took over Radiance. I didn't even know like what buttons to press to do things as a house leader, and the game had no guide on it, so I just kind of made it up as I went. I'm always happy to help people out when people ask, give people advice. And a lot of that's true of a lot of players. Um, I think most of us vets want there to be a more, uh, I guess, high level community. In YT, we want to have seasons where people are really coming after us and where we're starting to have to fight again, like we did back when HK and Old School Defiance were here. Um, so we want to help people get there. We're not, we're happy to share our guide. We're happy to spout opinions. Trust me. Um, just ask.
I just want to say thank you to Atlas for the time I spent there because they definitely made a change in the amount of gameplay style that I put out. Watching them play sieges and having to play with such higher levels at only being level 40, 50 when I first came into really playing the game, it was intense trying to keep up. But after playing with them and making the attack on Reggie with a lot of you guys in YT, it was very intense and it made me read the guide fully through and a lot of information that I just wouldn't have thought of or been able to find through the game itself without being a part of you guys.
Yeah, I mean, I appreciate you saying that. I mean, we try. I can't speak for everyone, but I try to reach out to the new houses, and hopefully, I'll let them know to set up scrims or whatever I could do to help them out and grow the server out. We did that with the Devastators this TW. From what I heard, it was a good time. Got to learn a little bit of each other's houses, but yeah, You can always reach out to me if anyone has a new house, or Atlas, or YT in general, if you guys have any questions.
It was truly a blast to get our ass kicked. Thank you.
It was a lot of fun. I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like this season, the ending that I've been in, being able to start a small house and getting our asses kicked in the field battles that we've been in, and it's kind of fun, being able to make you guys stop, hit us, even though we get kicked around all the time. It's still fun. At the end of the day, I'm enjoying my gameplay because I'm still having fun playing in the end game content, no matter what I'm doing. I'm here. Shaolin's here, Just Us is here, and we're trying to grow as best as we can. That way we
I
can
do
give you
think that's
guys a good competitive next season.
sorry. I was just gonna say I do think that's really important for newer houses too, is to kind of emphasize that over the winning aspect of it and the land aspect of it. Is just even if you're getting stomped, like how do you get better? That was fun anyways. Like I had a good time, even though it was nothing but T5 calf.
Yeah. On that note, take it from me as a cohort. I've been getting stomped by tier 5 calves since season 2, and just since I joined the cohorts and everything. It's but my advice for I would say for newer houses, or not even just newer houses, but small houses, because some houses that are small could just be a bunch of veterans playing together and doing their thing. Is just always knowing the limitations of your forces. I've seen several houses try to do multiple, like 5-man or 4-man, or like snipes of other houses territories and stuff like that, which will do, you'll get your land and such if you're good about it. But you gotta realize, too, as well, like if you spread yourselves out too thin, or if you make yourselves, if you dilute your numbers, then you may not get those fights that you need to win. And that comes also down to knowing your unit level, or your player levels, your unit compositions of your folks. That's kind of my little bit of gist of advice from me, having encountered a lot of small houses that try to get out there, and they get bopped by, like, drowned by a million cohorts or whatever the hell. But it's just try to really understand your capabilities more so than anything, because sometimes some people poke like big bears and such like that, and then they find themselves getting mauled, and that's definitely probably not the most enjoyable experience. But then you'll learn from that as well, so that it goes both ways, I guess. But um and then, yeah, as stated too, learn from and enjoy failures. I mean, you're going to only grow from failures. That's the only way you can really grow, is from a failure. Like, I've lost so many battles and I've won many battles too, but in the end, it's just how we adapt and grow and learn to improve, and then who's willing to stay in and put in the time and the experience to grow from that too. So that's just
And
my little bit
so
of that.
much of it is thinking about, it's not just losing, but it's losing doing the right things. In other words, sometimes I'll see new houses go out there and they'll just break up into 3 to 5 man squads and just go try to land grab, and that'll get you success in the short term. If you go out to an area where there aren't a lot of other people and just spread out and hit everything with small groups, you'll take some land. But it's two things. One, most of the older houses in the game are going to consider back capping kind of a crap strategy. And so next war, they're going to come for you with 10 times as many people. But two, that doesn't help get you better at the game. Learning how to beat AI with 3 people is not a super valuable skill. Putting together a full 15 stack, getting a hold of a town and digging in that town and beating the crap out of anyone who tries to attack it. If you get pushed out of it, grab another town, hold that one fief. Get 15v15 fights that are valuable learning experiences rather than trying to land grab. Because that's the problem, becomes then when you do have to fight for something important and what you're used to doing is beating AI and empty fiefs with 4 people. And now you've got to coordinate 20-25 players to hold a town against people who've been attacking towns for, a year and a half now. You're going to really struggle. So it may not be as fun, it may not be as glamorous, it may not get you as much land, but I
And,
can speak for Radiance and Dio to say we learned a lot from when we were smaller, getting pushed into one fief, fighting as a team and defending it against way bigger groups than us.
and I can also comment on that too. I kind of was the first one to poke at one of the big bears as a on new coming house, and we poked we poked a little bit more, and yeah, I just gotta say that he in a way he is kind of right that if you're ready, because I'm just gonna say this. I love my house because their morale is very, 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 very strong. Because the whoopings that we had taken from YT were not some pleasant ones. Hour and 45 minutes in open world just getting ran over over and over and over. But I love my family because they stayed strong and they stayed loyal to it. But I agree. I wouldn't the backcapping it it does get people mad, but again, war is war at the end of the day when you look at it. But I agree though, you should start by fighting real people because if you do start with the AI house, you're gonna think it's real simple. And then when we went against YT, it wasn't that simple anymore. And I caught myself giving a lot of speeches. And like I said, and I love my house for standing strong because, like I said, YT has ran us over multiple times, and it hurts. It does, but we grew from it. We try to learn from it. We try to learn how they move and how they rotate and how they formation and how they try to do things. But he is true though. I agree. You should start off by trying to fight someone first, because at least you're knowing what you need to start doing and shoot for, and how to set your troops right, and what units you're gonna need, and because the AI, it really is kind of easy actually. Like, it's not hard at all. But like I said, it is what it is. But I agree with him 100%. The best way to learn is by fighting someone first. But the backcabbing part, I'm not so disagreed with it because, like the art of holding too much land you can't defend, and it's fine. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, you'll be back to get it. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you should still want to be able to fight a 15 on 15 or a 30 on 30, and I agree with that wholeheartedly.
All right, everybody, we are coming up to the close. And I do have one last question for you guys with the full knowledge that literally the War Report, the uh, Conqueror's Blade Hub, all of that was thrown together in like a matter of weeks after the Eastern migration. I've been doing my best, and I hope that you would agree that it's not too bad. But how would you guys? What would you say that I could do to improve this thing? Because I'd really like to take it to the next level and make it something that you guys are all proud of too.
I mean, something I've been bugging the devs about for a long time is to put more support behind people who are creating genuine resources for people playing the game. I know a lot of effort goes into the creator program to support streamers and stuff like that, but I'd love to see an equal amount of support and love go to people working on things like wikis and websites like you do. The only thing I'd love to see is if there be ways, and maybe this is something we can talk about later, to implement more and more um, kind of community education tools, maybe getting some guides in there, things like that. We'd be happy to provide ours. I know a couple other houses have guides for new players they pass around. I just love to see like a website we can just send players to and say, here's a good place to go learn. And also, you can look at a list of all the houses and all the other fantastic War Report stuff that's on there. Um, but that's the only thing I'd have to say. I love the format of the War Reports and all the data you pull. It's incredible.
Yeah, that's
It's
actually
great. It's
the
just
Ripping
beautiful
manual.
how it's all done.
Thank you guys. Yeah, that's the direction I'm going with it. Hawkeye is I plan to have that thing filled to the brim with guides and information. And if you guys are willing to sacrifice your handbook, I'd love to kind of digitize it and put it up there for people.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a Google Doc right now, so we can update it easily, but be more than happy to share it.
Yeah, I
Let's
got a
get
copy.
Fog on Conqueror Blade's website. Come on, guys.
Yeah. So we're gonna get it up there. We're gonna make a better website than the game has done, and hopefully,
Oh, you
you
have
know,
it. You have it.
we're getting there. And if you ever have any questions or comments or ideas, please, the only stupid question is one not asked. Come to me. I'm here to learn. I am not a professional at this. This is literally the biggest stream I've ever hosted in my life is literally every time that I do this. So all my charity streams, nothing compared to this. So it's a whole nother level of things for me. Really need to learn from you guys. So if you guys have any advice, any kind of things that you'd like me to bring to the table for this, let me know, because this is as much yours as it is mine. So I really want to shine a bright light on our community and show how tight knit this community is. Even though we're not a coalition, we're not strategically stabbing each other in the back or building allegiances to undermine people. We're here having fun, playing a sport, having good sportsmanship, shaking hands after the match. It's a different feeling over here, and I'm really proud of you guys for stepping forward and making that happen.
Thank you for having us, Fog. For real, it's
Yeah.
amazing to get to sit down with everybody like this.
So
Absolutely.
next week, I want to invite you all to come back, and we're going to have a kind of a jamboree of sorts. I'm going to give you even longer to talk about your houses and your plans for season 7. We're going to go through season 7 with fine-tooth comb. Look at the trailer. Look at the information that we have available next week, and kind of discuss what we're hoping with season 7. So I invite you all to come back next Saturday, 9 p.m. We'll be hosting another War Report, looking at the future of season 7 here on Cloudwing Valley. I really hope you all show up. It'll be a lot of fun. So thank you all, and I guess I'll see you next Saturday, hopefully.
Thanks for having us,
Everyone have a
Fog.
good night.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks,
Appreciate
Fog.
the war
Putting it
reports,
together.
man. Have a wonderful night.
Yeah.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Have a good one, everyone.
Thanks, Fog.
Have a good night.